Hey there, welcome. Movement Yoga, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. And my name is Mark Cormier. We'll get started in about 5 minutes or so. And welcome. Yeah, just hang out, grab your mat, grab some water, grab whatever feels right and good for you tonight.
I'm gonna use a mat, but mainly just because of cat fur.
Okay.
Or are we leaving Markel's couch or are we leaving it?
I think there's a new setup where there's room for both of us without moving the couch.
Oh, really?
I mean, I think so because your dad didn't want me to move the couch, so yeah,
Okay.
we welcomed everybody. So being in the sunshine.
Oh, it's already happening.
Yeah.
Cool.
He said 5 minutes.
Oh.
Every time I practice in class, he looks so involved.
Really? Every time?
Every time.
I think there's room.
No, but I think I want to wait till.
We could also go the other direction. I can say sideways.
Oh, you mean the not the other person?
No, if there was a room. Well, I guess there is room.
Yeah?
Yeah. Cool. It's kind of cold.
Too.
You guys?
Alright. Oh, but my feet are so dirty.
You're funny.
Just saying.
Mine too, look.
They're not as dirty.
That's why I've been wearing slippers.
No, it's because of outside, I think.
Oh yeah. No, but for, yeah, the rainbow should make my feet less dirty. Unless I felt like copying it. No, it's alright, I will stop, it's fine.
Should be good. Maybe get one of these strong glasses to help me with this couch.
Oh, we are moving it.
Very good.
Yeah, stuff underneath it.
Thank you guys.
Back of cat hair.
Oh, I see. Wait, I should do it too.
No, it's
I understand. Well, I understand. That makes sense. Yeah.
Well, welcome everyone to Movement Yoga. Again, grab your mat, grab some water. We'll get going in about 30 seconds or so. Let me welcome some of the folks online. We got Robin, Mark, Abigail, Kathy, Adrian, Nicole, Linda, and John. Welcome, everyone. And last class, somebody made a comment about the music. Totally cool. It gave me feedback as to what the music was doing, and we made adjustments. So yeah, if there's something that's not quite right, feel free to comment off to the side here, and every so often I'll come up and see what those comments are. All right, so let's get going. So we welcome Catherine and Josephine. Catherine's a librarian here in San Francisco. She's currently working for the food bank. And Josephine is a ski instructor. Her season got cut a little short. Now she's with us. And we're going to do some yoga together tonight. This is my daughter and my wife. So finding your feet, from your feet, finding your legs. From your legs, finding your spine. Relax shoulders long and tall through the crown. Without straining the neck, I'll suggest a slight tuck of the chin as we start to take our attention inward. And we can start by watching our breath as it flows in and as it flows out. Arriving here on our yoga mats, or if you're not using a mat, on the ground here, or on the rug or floor, wherever you're practicing. Just grounding on down from that foundation, finding the stability to find some length, some lift. Let's start just by watching our breath again, just as it flows in and out. From this place, it's just observing your breath. I'll invite you to shape your breath. As you find the Ujjayi breath, the ocean breath, slight constriction to the base of the throat, adding a slight sound and feel to your breath as we flow through our practice tonight. Letting the sound and feel of the Ujjayi breath, the ocean breath, be a focus for your practice. The sound and feel often compared to the sounds of the waves of the ocean as they flow in and out. To this Ujjayi breath, this victorious breath, this ocean breath, I'll invite you to find Jiva Bandha, tip of the tongue to the hard palate, just behind the teeth. Hard to demonstrate, hard to see, but that tongue to hard palate connection keeps us from clenching our jaws. It also connects front and back planes of our bodies. And finally, before we start to attach breath to movement, I'll invite you to find a slight smile on your face, lips closed, and Mona Lisa smile, opening up the front of your throat so your breath has lots of room to circulate, refresh, and revitalize. Keeping all this, if you close the eyes, opening the eyes, starting slowly, we'll breathe the arms up overhead, and exhaling the arms down. 2 more times like this, breathing arms up, exhaling arms down. Inhaling arms up. Exhaling arms down. Adding a forward fold, half sun salutation. Inhaling arms up. On the exhale, leading with the heart as you fold. Take a breath to find length, hands find shins or thighs. Exhaling, folding again. Inhaling, right into breath up, arms overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. 2 more times like this. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling forward. Inhaling right into breath up. Exhaling, standing tall. 1 more time like this. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Take a breath to find length. Breathing out, folding again. Inhaling right into breath up. Exhaling, standing tall. Surya Namaskar A, Sun Salutation A, with or without vinyasa, yogi's choice. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Take a breath to find length. And then breathing out, either finding your down dog, or if you choose, you could always cycle through a push-up with or without the knees, elbows shave ribs. Inhaling into a little back bend, hips stay down for the cobra, or pulling the hips off the floor for the up dog. And then exhaling back to your down dog. Great place to hang out. Another place you might choose at any point is the child's pose. As we ground down through the knees, big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Sits bones back to the heels as we melt ourselves down towards the floor. So really finding a place to work that works for your breath, your body, whatever your energy level is tonight, whatever your body wants. So listening to your body and respecting what your body has to say. Another couple breaths here. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step or take a jump across. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. Exhaling forward. Inhaling, riding the breath up. Exhaling, standing tall. Second one just like the first. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Take a breath to find length. And then breathing out back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. Always working that balance between your effort and your ease. From down dog, long smooth breath in. Long smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step or take a jump front. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling forward. Inhaling, right into breath up. Exhaling, standing tall. Let's do one more Surya Namaskar. We'll add on if you choose. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Take a breath to find length. And then breathing out back to down dog as you will. Either cycling through vinyasa, stretching straight back, or maybe choosing that child's pose instead. As we hold down dog, I invite you to bring your attention to the base of your throat. From that place, listening and feeling as your Ujjayi breath flows in. And as your Ujjayi breath flows out. Wherever you are, always feeling free to stay there. From down dog, long smooth breath in. Long smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step. Or take a jump front. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling forward. Inhaling right into breath up. Exhaling, standing tall. Last warm-up exercise, Surya Namaskar B, and we'll add a lunge, warrior one shape. So let your breath bring you into chair pose, knees over toes, hands over head. On the exhale, taking it lower. On the inhale, rising on up, we'll invite you to find a back bend at the top, open heart, open throat. On the exhale, a big swan dive. Take a breath to find length, and then breathing out, back to down dog, as you will, either cycling through vinyasa, stretching straight back, or making another choice instead. I'll go sideways. You guys stay just as you are. You all stay just as you are. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart, flow style. From here, finding a three-legged dog, right leg high. High on the left toes. Looking between the hands, lifting that leg even higher. And then sweeping that right foot out through. Landing it lightly, spinning the back heel down. Hands can always find the hips as you find your balance. And then arms up and over the head for warrior one. And then on the exhale, back to low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog. As you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. Second side, big toes touch, heels slightly apart, left leg high to the sky, high on the right toes. Looking between the hands, lifting that leg even higher, and then sweeping that left foot up, spinning the back heel down, back leg long, back leg strong, arms up and over the head. And then on the exhale, back to low lunge, and then back to down dog, as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. Awesome. Whether you're in down dog or if you've chosen that child's pose, two great places to breathe into the back, using the work of respiration to find a little more space, a little more freedom in our spines. From down dog, long smooth breath in. Long smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step. Or take a jump front. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. Exhaling full. On the inhale, stay low, knees over toes, hands over head for our chair. Exhaling, taking it lower, more strength in our legs. Inhaling, rising on up, a little back bend at the top. On the exhale, neutral spine, back of the head in line with the sacrum. As we find our breath. Let's do one more Surya Namaskar B. We'll add a hip opening sequence into the mix. Let your inhale bring you into your chair. Adding that extra breath, exhaling, taking it lower. On the inhale, rising on up. On the exhale, a big swan dive over. Take a breath to find length. And then breathing out, back to down dog as you will. Nice. Again, follow your breath, find your flow, whatever that flow is. That's one of the beauties of practicing at home. Just work at your own pace, 100%. Again, I'm gonna go sideways here, just so you guys see a different presentation. Flow style, big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Right leg high to the sky, high on the left toes. Now lifted leg straight, I'll invite you to stack the hips. Now bending that top leg, opening up that right hip. And then looking between the hands, lifting that knee even higher. And then sweeping that right foot on through, landing it lightly, spinning the back heel down, finding your warrior one, arms up and over the head. And then on the exhale, back to low lunge. And then back to down dog. As you take your time, find your flow, whatever that flow is. From down dog, second side. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Left leg high to the sky, high on the right toe. Lifted leg straight as we stack the hips. Now bending that lifted leg, opening up that hip. And then looking between the hands, lifting that knee even higher. And then sweeping that foot up. Spinning the back heel down. Arms up and over the head for your warrior one. And then on the exhale, back to low lunge. And then back to down dog as you take your time. Welcome Austin, welcome Steve, welcome John, welcome Joni, welcome Ivy. And again, anything that, if the music's too loud, not loud enough, just feel free to say. Any places you want to go in terms of a yoga shape, feel free to comment. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step or take a jump front. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. Exhaling, fold. Again, stay low, knees over toes, hands over head for our chair. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up. On the exhale, neutral spine. I'll invite you to bring hands to heart, keeping a light press of the palms as your weight collects in your feet. Relaxing those shoulders long through all sides of the neck, a slight tuck in the chin. As we recenter, bringing our attention into seeing how the sun cells affected our body, our breath, what's changed, what hasn't. And then hands by our side. From here, let's bring hands on hips as we step or jump our feet hip width apart. We haven't done this one in a while. I'll invite you to lift the shoulders up, around, back, and down. And then leading with the heart, hinging at the hips as we find a forward fold. Rounding the spine as we soften the knees, peace sign fingers catch the big toes. Take a breath to lift chin and tail, just like on the sun cells. And then folding and holding. And I'll invite you to draw the shoulders up and back towards the hips as you relax the neck and heavy the head. As we hold this shape, I'll invite you to gently rock the head side to side, maybe adding a little swing of the shoulders, a little sway of the hips. Letting any tension in the neck and shoulders just drain down through the crown of the head into the earth. From this place of movement, coming back towards stillness, I'll invite you to take fingers to big toe pose towards hands under feet pose. Take a breath to lift chin and tail, and now bending the knees even more as we bring the palms under the soles of the feet, and then stepping on the hands as we stretch out the wrists and the forearms. As we hold this shape, challenging your balance, and I'll invite you to rock your body weight front to back, back to front. And then letting a little more weight collect towards the toes as you step on the hands harder, lifting the hips higher, and folding a little deeper. So left and right on the video cam can get confusing, so if you're on the other side, make sure you do the other side. I'll cue left and right, I always start with the right first. From this place, I'm going to invite you to bring left hand off to the left, right hand under left foot, and stepping on right hand as you stretch out right shoulder in.
Now bringing right hand off to the right, left hand under right foot, and stepping on left hand as we stretch out left shoulder. Let's add on to this stretch. Left hand off to the left, right hand under left foot, and I'll invite you to bend that far leg, that right leg deeply as we step on the hand harder. Straightening far leg, bending near leg as we step on the floor harder. 2 straight legs. I'll invite you to bring right hand off to the right, left hand under right foot, and then bending that far leg, that left leg as we step on the hand. Straightening far leg, bending near leg as we step on the floor harder. Let's add on one more time. Left hand off to the left, right hand under left foot, and try to keep that right leg, that far leg as straight as you can as we bring left hand to hip to start a twist. Now using that left hand to set that shoulder blade back and down onto the spine, and then stretching that hand high to the sky for a big breath in here. Left hand comes down, right hand off to the right, left hand under right foot, and try to keep that far leg as straight as you can as hand finds the hip to start the twist. Now using that hand to set that shoulder. Now stretching hand high to the sky for a big breath in here. Right hand comes down, 2 hands find the floor. Let's soften the knees and catch opposite elbows and gently swaying our bodies from side to side. Switching across to the elbows, keep swaying side to side. Now coming back center, let's roll ourselves up, and let's do it safely as we bring hands onto our thighs, and the chin is tucked, we push into the thighs as we masterfully stack our vertebrae. Lifting the chin tall through the crown, 2 hands high in the air as if you're holding a big ball. And let's take 3 big full body breaths. Our hands and fingers can mimic our ribs. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. And then I'll invite you to bring your hands to your heart. Slight tuck of the chin. As we bring our attention back in. From here, let's step or jump it in thin like a pin. From here, let's play with a balancing pose. As we shift weight onto right foot, and again, right and left get a little messed up, so if you're seeing something different and you're on the other side, no big deal. So we're going to shift weight onto right foot, that left foot gets light. We bend the right knee, let's bring that left ankle on top of the thigh for a standing figure 4. And then as if we're sitting into a chair, we can start to drop our weight down. Either keeping hands on hips or hands find the heart. Hands either stay on the heart or we stretch those hands high to the sky. Maybe challenging your balance as you lift the face to look up between the hands. Holding it for one more breath. Wherever hands went, if they left the hips, they come back to the hips. We can straighten the standing leg. We can lift this left thigh high. We lean a little bit forward here, and then we go long through the leg. Lifting that leg a little higher. And then let's land that leg in a cross step. Let's bend the knees a lot as front of the back knee pushes into back of front knee. From here, just like in the sun sails, arms up and over the head. And then on the exhale, finding a forward fold with crossed legs. Take a breath to lift chin and tail. And then folding and holding. And again, I'll invite you to draw the shoulders up and back towards the hips as we relax the neck. And heavy the head. As we hold this shape, maybe a little swing, a little sway. Just releasing tension in the upper back, neck, and shoulders, and then just letting that tension drain down through the crown of the head, into the earth, where it's gone, at least for now. In the cross-legged forward fold, I'll invite you to circle those hips any amount as we invite more prana into our hips, more life force. And then taking those circles the other way. Excuse me. Now coming back center, let's carefully unwind the legs as we step that front foot back to find our low lunge. In our low lunge, we'll allow you to take it longer and longer for more stretch in our legs. And now let's walk our hands inside our feet. As we make our feet relatively parallel, toes can angle in just a tad, heels can angle out. Just like in the sun cells, let our breath lift you up. And then folding and holding. And again, drawing those shoulders up and back towards the hips as we relax the neck. Heavy the hips. Either keeping the hands right where they are or challenging your balance as you walk the fingers back towards the toes. As we hold this shape, we'll invite you to rock your body weight front to back to front, connecting with your center of balance. And then letting a little more weight collect towards the toes. As you step on the floor harder, lifting the hips higher, and folding a little deeper. In our wide-angled forward fold, I'll invite you to walk your hands to the back of your mat, or your back foot. Left hand outside of that foot. Right hand catches the outside of the shin. Two straight legs as we look under that armpit. Now adding on as we bend that far leg, pushing it in your foot. Straightening far leg, bending near leg as we push into far foot. Two straight legs. Releasing the shin, walking the hands through center. Now right hand outside right foot. Left hand catches the outside of the shin. Two straight legs as we look under that armpit. Now adding on as we bend that far leg, pushing it in your foot. Straightening far leg, bending near leg as we push into far foot. Two straight legs. Let's keep the hands front as we lift up onto the toes. We spin the heels as we come back to our low lunge facing front. Now let's do a little bit of a balance challenge here. It's different than Warrior One. We keep that back heel lifted as we bring hands to our hips. And then we stretch those hands high for high crescent lunge. In high crescent lunge, let's bring our hands back to our hips as we spin that back heel down for more stability in the shape. From here, let's go a little longer in our stance as we get more stretch in our legs, sliding that back foot back. We can square our shoulders front. We can find a clasp with the fingers behind the head, open, heart open. Throat forth into chakra, communication and community, the other way around. Heart is community, throat is conversation, communication. From here, let's find a tray in front. And then we can straighten that front leg without locking the knee as we draw energy into our center of balance. On the exhale, circling the hands around as we offer it out. A couple more times. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in, lifting up. Breathing out, finding this shape, keeping these cactus arms for a big breath into your heart. From here, let's bring hands to hips. And let's play with another balance challenge as we move towards Warrior Three. We can spin that back heel up. We can take a big step in. And then we can start to float that back leg any amount. And bent knee on the standing leg is going to help with the balance. If you want to challenge that balance, moving towards extension through both legs. I'm going to go sideways again so you guys get a little different perspective. So, lifted back leg. Let's work hamstring and glute. I love this sequence. As we pulse it up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now working the standing leg as we bend the knee any amount for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and up. You're keeping hands on hips or playing with arm variations. I'll talk a few different ones tonight. We can stretch hands towards that back foot. We can find eagle arms out to the side. Classic exposition. We bring those arms in front. We can lift the face as if we're looking through a large glass ball. I know I say it every time. I always think of that glass ball in The Wizard of Oz. foretelling the future, maybe seeing whatever you choose to see in your
Hold this anymore.
Yeah, this is movement yoga.
This is movement yoga. Maybe we're moving a little slower tonight. Hands find the hips. Let's bend the standing leg as we bend that back foot lightly, finding our warrior one, arms up and over the head. And then on the exhale, spinning the palms out, spinning that back heel up as we find low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa, stretching straight back. Again, vinyasa is just connected movement. It's not always, doesn't always have to be chaturanga, the push-up. Inhaling into the back bend and then back to down dog. You might find plank pose and hold back. You might just do a spiritual vinyasa, just connecting with your breath. From down dog, long smooth breath in. Long smooth breath out. Inhale into that breath, looking between your hands to just step or take a jump from. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling forward. Let's hold the forward fold as we go wide with our feet. Soft knees catching opposite elbows and gently swaying it from side to side. Switching the cross of the elbows, keep swaying side to side, loosening up those hips, releasing your back. Relaxed neck, heavy head. And again, let's work that assisted roll up as we come to center, hands find the thighs, chin is tucked as we roll ourselves up. Lifting the chin tall to the crown, 2 hands high in the air as if we're holding that big glass ball. And then 3 big full body breaths, hands and fingers mimic our ribs. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more time, breathing in. Breathing out. And then I'll allow you to inhale, hands to heart. Exhale and hold. And either keeping a light press of the palms or adding an isometric engagement as we press those palms together, elbows wide, shoulders engaged, strong and steady in our center. And then hands by our side. Awesome. So let's jump it in thin like a pin. And we're going to move towards standing half lotus, right? So standing half lotus, the figure 4 shape. We're going to shift weight under our left foot. Right foot gets light. We park that ankle on top of the thigh. We start to sit in our invisible chair, either keeping hands on hips or hands on the heart. Either hands stay at the heart or we stretch those hands high. And maybe challenging your balance as you lift your face to look up to the sky. High hands can come back to the hips. We can straighten the standing leg. We can lift this right thigh high. We want to lean a little bit forward as we draw energy into our center of balance as we go long through that leg. Lifting that leg a little higher. And then we'll land it lightly in a cross step. Let's bend the knees a lot as we push the front of the back knee into the back of the front knee. Take a breath to bring the arms up overhead, inhaling. On the exhale, finding your forward fold. Take a breath to find length. On the exhale, folding and holding. Relaxed neck, heavy head, shoulders drawing up and back towards the hips. Again, I'll invite you to add a little swing, a little sway. Feeling the various waves of gravity as they move through the universe. And then coming back center, and in any amount with the crossed legs, just circling those hips. It could be big circles, little circles, fast circles, slow circles. Let them be your circle, whatever your hips want. And then taking those circles the other way. And then back to center. And let's carefully unwind the legs as we step that front foot back to find our low lunge. In our low lunge, I'll invite you to take it longer as we step that foot back, more stretch in our legs. One more time, let's go a little bit longer. And then walking hands inside our feet as we make our feet parallel. Toes can angle in just a tad, heels can angle out. Take a breath to find length as you lift chin and tail. And then folding and holding. Relaxed neck, heavy head. Either keeping the hands right where they are or scooting the fingers back towards the toes. As we hold this shape, I'll invite you to challenge your balance, connecting with your center of balance as you rock your body weight front to back, back to front. And then letting a little more weight collect towards the toes, stepping on the floor harder, lifting the hips higher, and folding a little deeper. Now let's borrow a triangle from the Shivananda tradition. As we bring left hand center, right hand finds the hip to start the twist. Now we use that right hand to set that scapula back and down onto the spine, and then stretching hand high to the sky. Big breath into your back. Right hand comes center. Left hand finds the hip to start the twist. Now setting the shoulder. Now stretching hand high. Big breath into your back. Left hand comes down, lifting up onto the toes. We spin the heels as we come back to our low lunge facing front. So balance challenge here, that back heel stays lifted as we bring hands to hips. And then we stretch those hands high for a high crescent lunge. From here, let's bring hands back to the hips as we spin that back heel down. We can use our hands to square our shoulders front. We can find that clasp with the fingers behind the head, open heart, open throat, fourth and fifth chakra, community and communication. And then from here, we can find that tray in front, breathing in as we gather energy in. On the exhale, offering it out. A couple more times, breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out in, holding for a big breath into your heart. Bring those hands back, the elbows come with, feel the stretch. And then moving towards warrior three, and we'll hold it a little bit longer. So as long as we did on the first side, but maybe longer than we used to. Balance poses are great. There's really nothing else to think about but your balance. So it's a great way to kind of chase away any extra thoughts here. So let's spin the back heel up. Let's take that big step in. Softening the standing leg, we'll start to float that back foot. Either keeping both knees bent, that's a great way to balance, or moving more towards extension. And again, let me go sideways here so you guys get a different perspective. We can pump that back leg up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now working our standing leg as we bend for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then playing with the arm variations, we can stretch hands back. We can stretch hands out, eagle wings. And then stretching those hands in front as if we're holding a large glass ball and seeing whatever you'd like to do in that glass ball. Hands come back to the hips. We'll stand that back foot lightly as we come back to our warrior one. Arms with a shorter. Maybe I had compassion. The compassion of the Buddha. Arms up and over the head. And then back to low lunge. And from low lunge back to down dog as you will. Again, take your time. Find your flow. Follow your breath. Welcome, Christine. Yeah, that child's pose is a great place to come to. Wherever you chose to take your shape, feel free to stay there. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step, or take a jump front. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling, folding. Again, let's go wide with the feet as we soften the knees, catching opposite elbows, and gently swaying it from side to side. Switching across to the elbows, keep swaying side to side. And then back to center. Yogi's choice here, either using the thighs for the assist or lots of core engagement is let those arms hang free as we slowly roll ourselves up. Lifting the chin tall through the crown, 2 hands high in the air as if we're holding that big ball. And then 3 big full body breaths, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. And then I'll invite you to bring hands to heart, either keeping a light press of the palms as your weight collects in your feet, or adding that isometric engagement, elbows wide, shoulders engaged, strong and steady in our center. And then hands by our side. So let's work a few breath exercises here. So I'll invite you to make 2 fists with the hands. We can station the fists in our center of balance, 3 or 4 inches below the navel. As we inhale, we can draw the fist up through the heart. And then we can release the fist, palms press up to the sky as we open up the base of the throat and breathe out through the mouth. And let's do that 6 times. Fist below the navel, inhale. And then exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more to go. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. And then hands by our side. Let's do this one. We're going to turn to one side. We'll push one hand up, one hand down. As we breathe in, we'll exhale through center and we'll find the other side. Yeah, it looks like this. We turn to one side, inhaling. Exhaling through center. Inhaling other way. Now let's do 6 of these. Halfway down. Couple more each way. One more each side. And then back to center. Let's do one more breath exercise here. Shooting the hawk to both sides, stationary fashion. We'll turn to one side as we breathe in. We'll push one hand out, we'll push one hand back, and we're firing a bow and arrow. It looks like this. Inhale. Exhale. And then turning to one side like we're firing an arrow, breathing in. Exhaling through center. Inhaling other side. And let's do 6 of these. Halfway done. Two more each way. One more each side. And then back to center. Let's work through one more standing pose sequence. Let's do an interesting arm variation to the sun cells. So as we breathe in, arms out to the side. On the exhale, let's cross the hands in front. Inhaling, arms to the side. Exhaling, switching across. 2 more times like this. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more like this. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now let's switch the circles. Inhale. Exhale. Switching across. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more like this. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more each way. Exhale. Switching across. And then from here, arms out to the side. Inhaling. On the exhale, finding your forward fold. Take a breath to find length. And then breathing out. Back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. Again, let your breath make the call. Always finding that balance between your effort and your ease. Welcome, Greg. From down dog, let's do another version of the three-legged dog called the dragon dog. Again, I go sideways here, so you all get a different perspective. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Right leg high to the sky. On the exhale, shoulders over elbows, knee towards nose, nose towards knee. Inhale it up. Exhaling, bringing it front. Inhale it up. This next one, let's hold. Exhale it front. Inhale and hold. And on the next exhale, try to get the foot right between the hands as we bring hands to hips. With hands on hips, weight shifts onto the front foot as we slide that back foot back for more stretch in our legs. And again, if you're already at your max, ignore that instruction. From here, we can square the shoulders. We can find a clasp of the fingers behind the head, open heart, open throat, and then stretching hands high. From here, let's serve hands to the heart as we open up our hips to face the side wall. We can kick that back foot in just a tad. And then finding our warrior two, looking out over those front fingers with a steady yet relaxed gaze. From here, let's paint three rainbows. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, warrior two. And let's sneak a traditional triangle in. Thumb and forefinger find crease of hip. Thumb and forefinger find base of rib. We can deepen that crease as we straighten that front leg. And then grinding that bottom hand down in an appropriate place. We can set the shoulder. We can stretch hand high, either looking down to the ground, off to the side, or up past those top fingers with a steady yet relaxed gaze. As we hold the triangle with every breath in, gathering energy in your center of balance. With every breath out, sending that energy out through two arms, two legs, both ends of the spine. From our triangle, we can bring hand back to the hip. We can soften the front knee, other hand finds other hip as we come back to our warrior two. And then I'll invite you to windmill the arms as we find low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back again. Let your breath make it. Dragon dog variation, second side. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Left leg high to the sky. High on the right toes. Now bringing shoulders over wrist, knee to nose, nose towards knee. Exhaling, and then inhale it up. Exhale it forward. Inhale it up. We'll hold this next one. Exhale it forward. Inhale and hold. And on that next exhale, try to get the foot right between the hands as we bring hands to hips for our warrior one. Longer in the stance if appropriate for your stance. If you're already in your max, don't worry about it. Squaring the shoulders, opening up fourth and fifth chakra, stretching hands high. Now surfing hands to the heart as we turn it into warrior two, opening up the hips. We can kick the back foot in just a tad. And then one long arm looking out over those front fingers with a steady and relaxed gaze. From here, painting three rainbows, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, warrior two. Moving towards our triangle, traditional thumb and forefinger find crease of hip and base of rib. As we deepen that crease, we lengthen those ribs. And then grounding that bottom hand down in an appropriate place. We can set the top shoulder. We can stretch hand high, either looking down to the ground, off to the side, or up past those top fingers with that steady yet relaxed gaze. Again, as we hold the shape with every breath in, gathering energy in your center of balance. 2 or 3 fingers below the navel. With every breath out, getting longer through the limbs, both ends of the spine, as you make yourselves bigger in space from the inside out. One more long, smooth, slow breath here. In our triangle pose, we can bring hand back to the hip. We can soften the front knee. Two hands find two hips as we come back to our warrior two. And then I'll suggest a big windmill of the arms as we climb low lunge. Last one tonight. And then back to down dog. As you go. Deep full breaths. From down dog, long smooth breath in. Long smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step. Or take a jump front. Take a breath to find line. Exhaling forward. One more time tonight, widening the stance, catching opposite elbows, swinging it from side to side. Switching across to the elbows as we swing it from side to side. Coming back center, either using the thighs for the assist or letting the arms hang free as we masterfully stack our vertebrae. Lifting the chin tall through the crown. One more time, two hands high in the air for those three big full body breaths. And then I'll invite you to inhale, hands to heart. And last 15 minutes of the class, we'll sneak in a turtle, a couple of back bends. If standing poses are your all you want tonight, feel free to go and get on to whatever you're about to do. Otherwise, staying and practicing with us as we bring hands by our side. Let's step or jump it in, thin like a pin. From here, let's jump it out wide like a house. And then hands find the hips as we angle the feet out. Let's rock it into half squat as we take it on down. From here, we can bring knees back over heels. Elbows find the inner thighs, hands find the heart. I'll invite you to keep rocking it from side to side as we get into those hips. Now coming back center, either staying in your half squat or dropping it all the way down to full squat. Mindful of your knees, of course. And then I'll invite you to bring hands beside as we come down under our back sides. Two long legs in front. Let's give those legs a little wiggle, a little shake. And let's find a pose called Tarasana. So it's like a butterfly, but the heels don't connect. Let me come back a little bit. And we're in external rotation with the legs. Tarasana, Buddhist goddess of compassion. I think she has bright green skin. I don't know.
Cool.
I didn't make it up. So from here,
It's real.
not that it was made up yet. So from here, we're going to find the tortoise or the turtle pose. We're going to feed our arms underneath our legs, the palms face down. You can wiggle yourself into it. You might lift up one sit bone and the other as you get a little lower into the shape. And then without shortening the spine, if it's cool on your back, you can let the spine round. If it's not, that causes a tweak or a twinge, feel free to work the pose in neutral spine, back of the head, in line with the sacrum. Wherever you're working, I'll invite you to tuck the chin as we draw our energy inward. There's a mantra that goes with this tortoise pose. I go deep within to find all that I need. You might repeat that to yourself. I'll say it a couple more times out loud. I go deep within to find all that I need. I go deep within to find all that I need. From the tortoise, a tuck of the chin as we unwind those arms out from under the legs. Challenge pose here, one of my favorite poses. Peace sign fingers, catch our big toes. From here, we start to balance on our tailbone as we float those feet off the floor. Feeling free to stay right here, or maybe move towards extension. We go long through those legs. One more breath here. Now from here, let's find a butterfly pose. So it's similar to the Tarasana, except the soles of the feet connect. Landing the feet on down, either hands find the ankles, or we can use our thumbs on the insoles of the feet. Take a breath to sit tall. If you're using thumbs on insoles of feet, opening up those feet like a book. And then leading with the heart as we fold. And again, either keeping neutral spine, depending on where your back is tonight, or letting the spine round. And again, great place to repeat that mantra if you choose. If you remember it, go for it. I'm not going to say it again. Or maybe there's something else that is your intention tonight. From the butterfly pose, a tuck of the chin as we bring it up. Let's find a half butterfly each side. So let's go long through the left leg, and again, it could be your other left leg. From here, either keeping this right foot right where it is, or maybe work it up a little bit higher so that it finds the thigh. From here, turning and facing that straight front leg, leading with our heart as we fold, and again, either keeping neutral spine or letting the spine round, if that's cool on your back. As we find head towards big toe pose. Breathing into that right hip. One more breath here. Now a tuck of the chin as we walk ourselves back in. We can use a hand on each side of that knee as we bring the knee center, and then I'll invite you to flex the foot as we straighten the leg to engage the muscles around the knee to keep that connective tissue supported. We can give that knee a little bit of a massage, why not? And we'll find that half butterfly on our second side, either coming back to a pretty loose place with the foot, or you can work the foot onto the thigh. Again, be super, super careful where your knee wants to go. I'm going to go a little bit looser on this side. My left knee's a little tweaked tonight. Turning and facing that long, straight leg, leading with the heart as we hinge at the hips, either keeping neutral spine or letting the spine round. Again, this is a great place. Whatever your intention is, just repeating to yourself, our energy is directed inward here. So it's a great place for those affirmations, whatever pep talk you want to give yourself. And one more breath here as we get into that left hip. And then a tuck of the chin, we walk the hands in. I'll suggest being super, super careful as we bring the knee center. We can flex the foot to engage the muscles around the knee, and then giving that knee a little love and consideration. So let's move towards a back bend here, and let's get onto the floor with grace and deliberation as we lay each vertebrae down as if we're laying pearls onto a cushion. I'm going to come a little bit forward. I'll invite you guys to come a little bit forward too. When we get down, we want to find a full body stretch. You're giving yourselves lots of space on the floor. We can start neutral spine, also called tall spine in the Pilates practice. From here, we can find C-spine. I'll go sideways here as we tuck chin and tail. And like a wheel, we're going to roll our spine down again as if we lay each vertebrae down. When we get down, I'll invite you to find that full body stretch, arms overhead. As you breathe in, I'll invite you to point fingers and toes. And then breathing out, flexing hands and feet. A couple more times. Breathing in as we point. Exhale as we flex. Breathing in as we point. Exhale as we flex. And I'll invite you to sweep your hands by your hips, palms face down, as we walk our feet in. From here, let me come towards you a little bit. It'll be a little crowded, but I want these guys, you all to see the sideways perspective. As we move towards a bridge pose, pressing into hands and feet to lift up the hips. Either stopping here, Pilates bridge, knee, hips, and shoulders in one line, or taking it to the yoga bridge, finding more of a rainbow shape. As we roll the shoulder blades under, I clasp the fingers, working the fingers towards the heels as we press the hips up a little higher. You all stay in the shape. I just want to cue a few things here. We want to ground down, no matter where your bridge is, to the upper arms. From that grounding down, feeling super light, super buoyant in the sternum. Another consideration, grounding down through the big toe side of the feet as you draw the energy up the inseams of the legs and then pressing those hips up if you've chosen the yoga bridge, a little bit higher for more of a rainbow shape. If you took it to the yoga bridge, I'll invite you to release the clasp of the fingers, palms flat on the floor. Coming back to that Pilates bridge, everything in one line, and then pulling back with the hands as we stretch the tailbone towards those heels. Again, laying each vertebrae down as if you're laying pearls onto a cushion. When that tailbone heavies down, I'll invite you to find constructive rest position as we go wide with the feet, but let the knees not in. Arms out to a T, palms face down. And then in constructive rest position, just rocking your knees any amount from side to side. As we release the hips, relaxing our low back. And then whatever side you're on, just holding that side for an extra breath. If it's cool on your neck, maybe letting your head fall towards that forehead for a big breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Bringing knees and gaze through center if you chose that option. Finding your other side, you're keeping face up to the sky, letting the head fall languidly towards that forehead for a big breath in. And a big breath out. Now bringing everything back center. One more shake before we find our Shavasana. As we draw our knees in towards our armpits, soles of the feet face the sky. We reach up and catch our ankles. If you have a bit more to go, catching the outside edges of the feet. And then heavy those knees down towards the floor. As we hold this happy baby, gently rocking it from side to side, getting into our hips, releasing and relaxing the low back. Massaging our kidneys. Very important. And then from the happy baby, I'll invite you to go long through the legs, long through the arms, scooting the head back as you flatten the shoulders, doing whatever else feels right and good for you tonight. Nice. Yeah, take your time. Those of you at home feeling free to hold your Shavasana as long as you'd like. We've worked hard tonight. Hopefully not too many jitters left in our body. We can just be super heavy, breathe. We can enjoy exactly who we are right here, right now. Those of us in the room, I'm going to cue you all out of Shavasana. But again, at home, feel free to stay exactly where you are. I'm going to ring these bells 3 times, listening to the start of the bell, and then listening as it slowly diminishes to an end. At home, feeling free to stay exactly where you are. Those of us here in the room, I'll invite you to wiggle your fingers and toes as we invite more life force, more prana, more life energy into our bodies. Now drawing that energy in towards center as we gently circle the wrists and the ankles. Maybe a little shimmy of the shoulders, a little shake of the hips. Whatever feels right. Now drawing one knee at a time in towards your heart as we catch our shins. And then using your thighs to massage your center of balance, that low belly place, 3 or 4 fingers below the navel, as we gently lift and lower our low back and hips. Keeping the knees close in, stretching long through an arm, rolling onto your side, letting that arm serve as a cushion for the head. As we share a long, slow breath here on the floor, I invite you to let that breath sigh out through your mouth, softening your shoulders, relaxing your jaw, softening the corners of your eyes. And then neck relax, face soft as you press on up to claim a cross-legged sit. As we sit, I'll invite you to bring your hands onto your knees, pulling back with the hands to sit up a little straighter, a little taller. Ending our practice as we started, watching as our breath flows in and as our breath flows out. From this place of breath awareness, I invite you to bring your hands in towards your hearts and bow as you thank yourselves for practicing yoga and as we offer our practice out to each other and to the world. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you all for practicing with us tonight. We have another session on Friday, an hour earlier at 5:30. If you can make it, great. If not, enjoy whatever else you have going on. And we'll see you next time.